Hi, this is Zach with Beyond the Studio Productions, and today I'm going to be talking about gas. Don't be embarrassed. We all have it. It's perfectly normal, and I want you to know that it can be managed. And I'm not talking about farts here. I'm talking about gear acquisition syndrome, because this is something that plagues most creatives, and it's a very serious condition. And we need to manage it, get it under control, because sometimes you just got to let it out. So you want to learn how to manage gas? Well, I have 8 questions for you to help you out. So the first question that you need to ask yourself anytime you're about to buy anything, like literally anything, more than just gear, I think it's good to ask these questions and go through this list for almost anything in life, but especially gear. So the first one is, can you afford it? You think, oh, well, duh, no. Because what ends up happening is you get these people like Guitar Center and Sweetwater and everything. They're always telling you, oh, just put it on a Sweetwater card or a Guitar Center card or whatever. And then, you do that, and then it's like then you're in debt, you're owing people, and, life happens, and then it's like, oh, no, I can't pay this. And that sucks. And then you get tons of interest or whatever if it goes beyond the period that the interest-free period. So that's not necessarily a good idea. So the next one that you need to ask yourself is, do you know your quality standards? And are you aware of how the different quality of things are put together, I guess? So in this case, you wouldn't want to plug a $100 cable into a $50 guitar amp, like a Line 6 or something. You wouldn't want to do that because it's like you're not going to see any benefit from that extra cost in the cable. If you're going to get something, just get like a $20 cable. You don't need to go to Monster. You don't have to go to Mogami. It's all just excessive. I mean, if you're running a studio and everything is super tight and high end, you will hear the difference. But for, entry level practice amp stuff, you probably wouldn't. So just know where you're going with that. A Guitar Center salesman, they're going to sell you on the Mogami or the Monster or whatever because it is better. But you're not going to notice that it's better, and that's the important thing. At the same extent, you don't want, if you have, thousands of dollars of gear, you don't want to just get any old shitty cable because you will hear that noise. You will hear all of that stuff, a lot more detail in those instances. So they can apply this to many other things, but those are just 2 great examples for that. The next question, how much money will this help you earn? So if it's attracting fans at a show, is it going to improve your live show? Is this going to improve your sound on stage? Is it going to improve the wow factor? That's really what we're getting at. It's like the wow factor of someone enters your studio. Are they going to be like, whoa, this is awesome? It's like, it sounds great in here or whatever. So you gotta really manage that wow factor, and you gotta figure out the details of how this will help you earn money. So another thing is like, well, if all my friends need this, I can rent it out to them. That's a way to earn money. So that's really important to consider when, planning out what you want to buy. The next one is this going to help your creative process? Is it going to help you create? Is it going to make you inspired? And the key part of this is regularly. Is this something that's going to happen on a day-to-day basis every time you pick up your guitar? Is this something that's going to help you? Like if you buy a wah pedal because everyone has a wah pedal, let's say, but you never write with it, you never use it, maybe for one song, it's not really worth it in my mind. And that goes for the many distortion pedals, the many plugins, and a million other things. I've bought a lot of plugins, and every plugin I have, I use on almost every mix or a lot. The next important one is, are you buying it just because it's on sale, or are you buying it because you need it? There are a lot of great sales out there. There are a lot of great things that happen regularly. For example, Universal Audio, they have a sale on their plugins every June and every December. You got to track the sales. You got to figure out when these sales happen so you can save for them and then buy what you need instead of just buying it immediately, because you'd save tons of money. The next question you should ask yourself is, have you checked the used market? Because the used market has amazing deals. And most of the time it's cosmetic damage that you'll find, like some scuffs or scratches or whatever, but the item's in perfect shape. And if you don't mind that stuff for certain things, it's totally cool. Like I have some mics that have some dents in them, but they still work and they sound great. I don't really care about dents, and it works and sounds great. And they're made to handle, like I have some 421s with that, some great tom mics that are in guitar mics they're used for. And it's really important to understand that it's okay if it doesn't look 100% perfect. Maybe a guitar is something that you're highlighting, but if you have like a pedal on your pedal board that's, scratched up or whatever, I don't think anyone's gonna really care. So that's a really good place to do it, is in the used markets, like eBay, Craigslist. If you're going to be buying plugins, I strongly recommend that you check to make sure that they're based in the US if you're going eBay, because sometimes if it's like in Indonesia or some other countries like that, you can be scammed. So it's important to be aware of those things. The next question you need to ask yourself is, how often will you use this? Because this is very important. If you're just going to use it once, rent it from a friend, rent it from a rental place, and call it a day, you'll save a lot of money. Or just try to return it, check it out, take it home, and most places you'll be able to return it. So that's another option as well, especially if you just need it for like one song or something and you're recording or whatever in just a few days. But there's no reason to actually buy it. Another thing you could do is try it with friends. See if your friends have the item. You could ask them for it. If you're going to use it for pretty often, it's probably more likely to buy it, but there are other ways to go about it. Those are just some of them. And the last thing, and the most important one, I think, is make a list and stick to it, because the list will help focus you. Make sure it's prioritized in the stuff that you need, you want, and the just nice to haves. And by want, I don't mean like, oh, this is pretty and shiny, I want that. No, it's like things that like you are a bit out of your price range, but it's things that you will need for the future, but not right now. The things you need are like things you need right now. And what's great about this, and I've been using this for a while now, is that it focuses me. So I'm like, oh, I got some extra cash this month. I want to invest it in my music. So I'm going to get the next thing on my list. Oh, this is the next thing. Done. It's easy. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to get distracted by, going on Sweetwater or wherever and seeing like a new shining toy kind of thing. It's like, ooh, red ball. I'm going to go get that, No, it's very focused, and it allows you to know exactly what your needs are for success, I guess. So if you're a band, you might have things that are important to you guys. You're definitely always going to need strings. You're going to need guitars. You're going to need amps, maybe some lighting for some shows and fog machine or whatever fun stuff you want to do. But know that, strings and guitars are probably going to be high up on the list, and the fog machine and lighting is probably going to be really low. You might not even need that at all once you get to bigger venues too. So if you want more information about these questions that you need to ask yourself, check the description below. I'll have a link to my website, beyondthestudioproductions.com, and there you will find a free checklist of all the details of these questions, and that'll help you get even more focused and narrow down to the things that you need to look for. So that's it, and I hope to see you in the next episode with Beyond the Studio Productions. Have a good one.